morning. It's Monday, October 27th, National American Beer Day. Listen, not everybody partakes, and it's not for everyone, but I'm just saying, now is the time to enjoy the things that you enjoy and the things that bring you just like a little bit of extra relaxation, because we have earned it. We have earned anything that brings us relaxation if it's legal. And now, the news. Starting with weather on the 10s and 2s, never a good sign. Over the weekend, Hurricane Melissa intensified to a Category 4 storm on its way to Jamaica, with a hurricane watch issued in Haiti from its eastern border, which it shares with the Dominican Republic, all the way to its capital in Port-au-Prince. As I record this, Hurricane Melissa is on track to become the rare, though becoming increasingly less rare, still rare, but like less rare than it was before, Cat 5 storm. Forecasters are also urging those in eastern Cuba, the southeast Bahamas, and the Turks and Caicos Island to monitor Hurricane Melissa closely. Luckily, this show is huge internationally. So if you're there and listening or watching the show, which I'm sure you are, because again, this show is wildly popular. Everywhere I go, I can't go anywhere. Just everyone's like, we listen for the weather. Please stay aware, stay prepared, and stay safe. And in France, 2 suspects have been arrested in connection with the very serious and in no way funny, so how very dare you for laughing, crime of robbing the Louvre and attempting to steal Julia Roberts' heart. Again, this has not been mentioned in any of the other articles, but that's why you come here. I'm the only anchor brave enough to tell you the truth about the robbery. They were trying to steal Julia Roberts' heart. The men were arrested on their way to the airport. They were so close to making an escape. One was headed to Algeria and the other to Mali. It is unclear where Julia Roberts was at the time of their flight. Poor Julia Roberts. You're probably like, stop talking about me in this podcast that I definitely listen to because, again, very popular show. The reason the police were able to find the suspects is because they left multiple items at the Louvre, including gloves and a high-vis jacket. Again, I'm not advocating for robbing the Louvre. Again, I'm really not doing that, but it does not sound hard because these do not sound like incredibly smart robbers. They do not deserve Julia Roberts. None of us do, quite frankly. All right, fun time's over. We got to talk about Trump now, I guess. I'm sorry. You can go back and listen to the beginning of this episode if you want. Now the fun is over. As you may recall, every single time that Trump runs for president, he's done it thrice because don't forget that he lost in 2020 and then did insurrection. One of his big campaign things is America First. And even though that is a racist dog whistle, what he pretends it means is that he wants to bring jobs and manufacturing back to America. I say pretend because if he meant it, he would probably, at the very least, have his own merch made in America, just his own at least. However, right now, while the government continues to be shut down, welcome everybody to day 27 of the government shutdown, Trump is focusing on importing beef from Argentina. Now, beef prices are up here in America, so he says that this would bring prices down here in America. But now he says this is his own admission. It would have the added bonus of bailing out the Argentinian government. That's an added bonus, he says. And that's something he's been doing a lot lately. In fact, Trump has already signed off on a $20 billion financial lifeline to Argentina. Additionally, a bonus $20 billion will come from banks and other private lenders. That doesn't mean the money was just like sent right over there. Instead, the money is contingent on the Argentinian president's party winning legislative elections that happened on Sunday. The country is in extreme financial distress, and a $40 billion carrot is being dangled in front of voters to sway the election. It is so crazy the way that Trump has never met an election that he wants to handle honestly. It's like, he stays on brand. I'll give him nothing. Actually, never mind. So that election happened on Sunday, but as of this recording, there are no results. We will talk about it tomorrow. But again, our government is shut down because Republicans don't want people to have health care, and they are literally lying about the reason for the shutdown. And I'm not even doing politics right now. I am just calling a lie when it's a lie. And instead of trying to focus on fixing the problem, the president of the United States is giving tens of billions of dollars over to Argentina and mucking in their elections in the meantime. And then going back to the beef thing. So not only is he taking away our money, and that's a little bit harder for us to kind of wrap our noggins around, because that money doesn't come immediately into anybody's pocket. That money could go to things like education, healthcare, roads, climate care, but it would, in order to get to somebody's pocket, it would take a little bit of time. But the beef thing, that is taking money directly out of the pockets of farmers. Because now, instead of restaurants or other places buying beef from American farmers, they will buy it from another country. Here's a quote. Quote, "I have no idea who is telling our great president, our America First president, that this is a good idea. Because honestly, it's a punch in the gut to all of our American cattle ranchers, and they are furious, and rightfully so." And that's a quote from Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's how you know this is bad. Even when you've lost Marge, Trump is wrong. When Marge is like, hey, Trump is wrong. Also, side note, keep an eye actually on Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's not smart, but she's not dumb. She is breaking away from Trump more and more, and I do find that interesting. If Trump keeps this up, he's going to lose farmers when he runs in 2028. That's a joke. That's a joke. Relax. Well, actually, who knows? Who knows if he's going to run in 2028? But also, who cares? And that's the energy, okay? Because I guess, big time loser Steve Bannon crawled out from whatever leather jacket wearing rock that he lives under to warn us that Trump wants a third term, as if he has not been wearing Trump 2028 hats and selling them in the White House or whatever he does. I don't know. But I can't stress this enough. I'm sure Trump does. I'm sure he wants a third term, because remember, all of these people, once they're not president anymore, or he's the president, once he's not president anymore and his friends are not protected by his presidency, they can go to jail. I'm sure he wants a third term. He can't do it. I'd be shocked if anybody would actually put him on the ballot. What they want is for us to be scared and then worry ourselves into a burnout. The energy that we are carrying into his third term talk is, who cares, loser? You can't do it. We're not spending energy on it. I don't know why so many people were talking about this Steve Bannon thing over the weekend. Who cares, loser? Listen, what's happening between Trump and Argentina is bad, but at least he's talking to them. On Thursday, after Ontario released an ad showing a video of Reagan criticizing tariffs, Trump announced that he was no longer speaking to Canada. Remember when Canada was our ally? And we were we're best friends and we live together, but we're only friends. They're our neighbors. They are our neighbors. And now he's not speaking to them, the whole country. Honestly, congratulations to Canada. He says it's actually just the trade talks are completely off. Completely off. Which is not good. He is very immature. Shocking, I know. With Toronto playing Los Angeles in the World Series, though, if Toronto wins, in theory, that would not help him. Although, on the other hand, is he, rooting for Los Angeles? And on the third hand, is he capable of love? Is he rooting for anybody? Who knows? But he says on Thursday, he was like, that hurt my feelings. No, he didn't say that. But his feelings were hurt if he could admit to it. And he came out and said that trade talks with Canada are off for the time being. So seemed like things were getting a little bit better in terms of Trump and Canada. They're not better anymore. While we're talking trade, although the government is shut down, as I mentioned, Trump skipped town and he is on a trip All around Asia, he will sit down with China's Xi Jinping later this weekend, but although the final deal has not been signed, representatives on both sides say that the framework for a trade pact between China and the United States has been worked out. So at least that trade pact is being worked out. That's good news. That's something. And because it's Monday, we're going to end on an up. As here in California, we prepare to vote on Prop 50, that is our redistricting measure, Virginia has come out of nowhere to surprise us all and say that they will do the same and redistrict the state in a way that will benefit Democrats. Beginning today, Monday, the legislature will draw a new map meant to pick up 2 or 3 additional seats in the House. Again, similar to California, it will need to pass the state legislature and then be approved by voters because it means a change to the state constitution. And listen, I want to talk about this for a second. We don't want to be here. I mean, I personally, let me talk for just for myself. I don't want to be here. Of course I don't want to be here. If you were listening to earlier episodes, you heard me talk about this and really go through the thought process of how I got to a yes on 50. I am firmly in the yes vote now, but it took me a minute to get here. Not wanting to be here doesn't change our current location, and we can't just do nothing and hope that because we're sitting here modeling our best good behavior, somehow Trump and others will find will happen upon a moral. Texas, as well as North Carolina and Missouri, have already redrawn their lines because the president asked them to. Utah and Ohio are in the process of doing that as well. What are we supposed to do? We cannot do nothing. Under, over, or around, we are going to find our way through this moment. We are fighting for the future of our democracy. We are fighting for the rights of ourselves and other people. It was never meant to be easy. It was never going to be comfortable. It will always, always be worth it. To quote Leslie Knope, far and away, the best prize that life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. This work, the work that doesn't feel comfortable right now, is work worth doing. Democracy is worth it. This country's better days are ahead of us. I know that because they are not behind us. Because if they are not the best days for everybody, they are not the best days for this country. Our best days are ahead of us. There is so much good in this country. There is so much good to fight for. This is work worth doing. This is a cause worth fighting for. Our country, our democracy is worth this work. And that's it. That's the news. I'm proud of, I wrote this part before I just kind of went off on the end, didn't write that last part, and then I wrote this ending. Not thinking about whoops-a-daisies. I'm proud of Leslie Knope and Julia Roberts and powering through. I'm proud of Julia Roberts and Leslie Knope, both equally real people in my eye. And I'm proud of voters. I'm not more proud of Julia Roberts and Leslie Knope than voters. Obviously, I'm proud of voters. For real, there are some very important elections that are coming up. Get out there, use your voice, use your vote. If they didn't matter, they would not be trying so hard to silence you. Double check your voter registration. If you are already registered to vote, you have to double check your voter registration before you go vote. You don't want to be surprised when you get to the polling place. And I'm proud of beer. You know what's nice? And this is not an ad, but they are welcome to give me money or free product. The Athletic non-alcoholic beer. This isn't like a bit. I'm not kidding. I like them. They taste pretty good. But more than any brand ever, because you're priceless and also worth all the money in the world. You're worth all the jewels in the Louvre. I'm proud of you.